Welcome to Cine Here, where you come for all of your media needs. My name is Ray.
It's your boy Nicky Tay Tay.
And today we are reviewing White Boy Rick.
I know the players. I know the game. Come on. Let's be a family again. Now what do you say?
I sell these drugs then, baby. That's all I have to hear.
Directed by Yann Demone, starring Matthew McConaughey and Richie Merritt. White Boy Rick focuses on the story of Richie Worshey Jr., who is known as the youngest FBI informant ever because at the age of 14, not only was he selling dope, but he was snitching on the drug dealers and drug players in the Detroit area. I mean, this guy, the balls, the cojones of Richie at 14 to say, you know, I'm not all about this algebra thing, but I definitely want to move work. And I definitely want to work with the FBI. That is impressive and at the same time terrible. Terrible. But the movie itself, White Boy Rick, I thought was a great movie. It was well done. It was gritty. It was real. I felt it. And that I can commend.
I believe that Richie and Matthew McConaughey did a great job at portraying their characters in the movie. You really did believe that he was White Boy Rick and Matthew McConaughey was his father. You can definitely see the dynamic of their relationship and even the reason why White Boy Rick decided to do what he did in the first place, because his house was so broken based on what the movie showed us.
Look at this, Dad. Look how we're living. Let's hustle big.
And I feel like, once again, from an acting standpoint, they gave you everything you wanted. And that really did help this movie become as good as it was.
Absolutely. At its core, White Boy Rick is the story about a boy just trying to take care of his family. And nobody can be mad at that.
And be a tattletale. Should be called Tattletale Rick instead of White Boy Rick. I don't want to glorify doing and selling drugs, but I also don't want to glorify being a tattletale.
And that's absolutely true. And that is exactly what White Boy Rick is. He is a tattletale. The one negative I think I have for this movie is that it tries to paint White Boy Rick in a very almost positive light, that we should be sympathetic for him, you know, that we should feel bad that he sold drugs, was caught, and went to jail. That I don't quite understand. I wish the movie took a more neutral kind of tone. For me, it felt like they were very on the side of White Boy Rick shouldn't have gone to jail. Now, I'm not saying he should have got a life sentence because, again, he was 14. That is very extreme. And again, I mean, he's serving drugs similarly to a lot of people who serve drugs who don't receive life sentences. So that's harsh. But I'm not upset that he went to jail. I mean, you are ruining your community. And it's Detroit of all places. Like, they need something else to make them as terrible as they are. I mean, you could have took the Eminem approach. Could have been a rapper. But you chose the life of drugs, which I can't get behind.
I agree with Nicky Tay Tay. They did make Rick seem like the hero in this movie. And I guess that just shows a really good level of storytelling. Because Rick was not a hero. He was a drug dealer that got caught. But the story was told in a way that really made us care about the fact that he was a drug dealer that got caught. So I guess it just plays into why this movie, in my opinion, was so well done. And the thing about this movie, probably really the downside about White Boy Rick, is the fact that the second half of the movie, in my personal opinion, didn't get flushed out as well as the first half. They didn't really get into more of the nuance and what happened to Rick once he decided to get back into the game. And I kind of want to see more of that. They didn't also get into what really happened after he got caught again by the police. So that what kind of led to the first half of the movie being so much better than the second half of the movie.
Exactly. I would have loved to see, once Rick became this drug kingpin, how was he spending his money? Was he living a little bit more lavishly at all, or was he, still in his father's home sleeping on his twin mattress? Give us a sense of how Rick, enjoyed or did not enjoy the lifestyle. I feel like a lot of things just happen very quickly, and now when we reach the end of the movie, we're in this place where it's like, well, that's all I get. And so you probably end up doing, Google searches to figure out, where's Rick now? What happened? Why it happened? Trying to figure out more that the movie didn't provide, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it just adds to more things that could have been input into the movie to make it enhanced, if you will.
What you said your name was?
Rick.
Alright, white boy Rick.
You got some balls coming here like you did.
After watching White Boy Rick, it really just pushes the point that drug dealing is terrible and the effects that it can have on the people and the lives that are surrounding in it. It also pushes the point that in Detroit and really all across America, selling certain drugs is even worse than killing people as far as the lawmakers are concerned about it. But I don't want to get too preachy. At the end of the day, Matthew McConaughey and Richie did a really good job at portraying the characters and White Boy Rick. And even with the great story that was presented in front of us, I will have to give this movie a 7. And the reason why I give it a 7 is because as good as the first half of this movie was, the second half felt very rushed. And that is what led me to give you the 7. So I hope that you do definitely check out this movie because it actually was a really good movie and a story that I'm glad I heard.
For me, White Boy Rick, as you said, was done very well. The first half of this film was very entertaining. Again, great storytelling. It felt surreal. I felt like Richie and Matthew McConaughey were actually, Rick Warshie Sr. and Jr. The relationship felt very natural. I thought Richie did a great job in his first movie playing White Boy Rick. For me, I would have to give this film a 7.6. It's not quite the 8 because, again, the third act feels a little bit rushed and the ending leaves you wanting a bit more. It doesn't feel like everything was told that needed to be told within this story. But overall, a good movie that I would suggest to anyone. That completes the review of White Boy Rick. Again, as you said in the review, if you're going to sell drugs, do it smartly and don't tell on your friends is the message of this movie. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of our reviewing content. And as always, don't forget, you've seen it here. That's that White Boy Rick money.
You sound effect guy.
How's that sound effect?
Could you change your voice up?
You can't change your voice?
A little bit. Still kind of sounds the same, though.
Facts.
I sell these drugs then, baby. That's all I have to hear. White Boy Nick. I can't call you White Boy Nick.
No!
Cut that part out.
Clearly. One, it was just bad. Two, no.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
They gave you everything you wanted. And that really did help this movie get to the rating that I want to give it at the end of the movie. I try to fix it.
I was like, whoa. And as always, don't forget, you've seen it here.
Or just don't sell drugs. I think that's also hopefully what the message that you got from this movie.
Yeah, or sell it smartly.